Hello visuals and welcome back to the channel and welcome back to Superhero Wednesday, the day of the week where we like to get right down and nerdy and we just like to fucking Spider-Man! That's what we do. We welcome. Right, we're going to talk nerdy shit. Nord? What the fuck is nerdy? Talk nerdy shit and we just shout out your favourite comic book nerdy character, whoever it is, and just scream after it. And that's all we do. So you could be sat and going, Luke Skywalker here! And that's the video done. Here for another list of me being a fucking moron. I don't know what the fuck we title this list. And I can't even get any feedback because I've already uploaded the video and you guys were like, that's not titled correct, and you'll be right because I'm a moron and you guys ain't. Today's category, today's the list, is my favourite big things inside of like movies and films and shit. Big characters. I don't know what, because obviously I can't say kaijus. Yes, we do have kaijus in this in the form of Godzilla and shit. We've got fucking mech suits. Well, yeah, there's Zords, because there's Zords in there. That's basically a mech suit. We've got living robotic organisms in the form of Transformers. My favourite big boys in the film and TV and shit. If they're over a certain amount of feet, they're in the list. My favourite people over a certain amount of feet. We'll call it that. No one comes for the intellectual prowess of the channel anyway. They just come for dumb, idiot Dan ramble on shit. If you haven't already, by the way, go to Spotify, type in Dan's Talking Crap and listen to my podcast. It's just me on my own for about an hour talking crap. The name says it all. Go check it out. So basically, you know the gist of it. If they're big from something that I love that's at least a little bit nerdy, they're on the list. You know, for example, like Lord Shenron's in here. I love Dragon Ball. He's a big fucker. If they're that's what you need to do to qualify. The gist of it, you understand what's going on. We don't know what the title is. But anyway, visuals. Here we go. My 10 favourite big fuckers in the world of comics, films, TV shows, and whatnot, and all that. Carry on. Let me know yours in the comments below. And here we go with number 10. 10 is the Stay Puft Marshmallow Man from Ghostbusters. Now, I fucking adore this bastard. I had a lot of a weird... Because when I was younger and I first watched Ghostbusters, I always thought he was a straight-up good guy. Even when he was pulling his weird little sort of like evilly faces, I thought he was there to help out. He was a good guy. And when the Ghostbusters eventually splatter him, you're like, why the fuck have they done that for? It was only when I got old and I realised. Because I thought it... And as well, I used to think he was the Michelin Man. When I was younger, you'd see the Michelin Man tyres and whatnot. But I've always had a fondness with the Stay Puft Marshmallow Man, even to seeing the smaller ones in the more recent Ghostbusters, Afterlife and Frozen Empire and stuff. I've always had like a fondness and a love towards all of that. But when he was in his big boy form, just wandering around New York City and whatnot, it's one of my favourite early memories of falling in love with cinema and storytelling and films and stuff. And just seeing him now in the OG Ghostbusters, wandering around doing his thing. I've always had a soft spot for him, so that's number 10. 9 is the Megazord. Now, I get right, okay, I fell out, well, I didn't fall out of love. The Power Rangers wasn't something I stayed massively connected to. When I grew up, I stayed connected to most things, but the Power Rangers, I sort of dipped in and out with. Yes, when my nephew was younger and stuff, I'd watch it when he'd got it on and stuff like that. But I'm thinking more of the Dinozords. The Dinozords, was that what they were called? When they formed to the Megazord. And the reason why he's on this list anyway is because, yes, when I was younger, I adored the Power Rangers. But not only that, I did have this figure, and then I had all the different Zords you'd put together and whatnot. And I had some of the best childhood memories I can remember playing with this thing, bashing it about, banging it and whatnot. Not banging it, banging it about, fighting and stuff like that, pushing it all together. I'm sure if I remember correctly, some of them had automatic noises and whatnot. But again, some of my earliest, fondest memories of watching big behemoth Goliaths battling on TV and stuff was the Power Rangers. Yes, it was a toy city with people in suits wandering around with the sparks not all flying. But like the fascination, the curiosity, everything was there. I can literally picture small but still fat Dan sat there. Oh my God, what the big monster thing, the Power, bashing in and just fall in love with this massive world of giants colliding together. I don't know if it's the reason why I then later on went on to fall in love with like Transformers and then Godzilla and stuff, because it was my earliest memory of watching big fuckers fight and always being in awe and fascinated by it. And then, like I said, it developed to Transformers and Godzilla and all that stuff. I don't know if that's what it is, but I just have a lot of fond memories of the Megazord. And who doesn't love the OG Megazord? I don't know if you're going to let me get away with this one because it's a bit of a technicality. And it's the Sandman, obviously. The Sandman's from Spider-Man. I'm only including this in this list because as a villain, I do really like the Sandman anyway. I think he's absolutely awesome. There's always a great emotional tie between him and Peter, or him and Spider-Man as they're fighting. It's not always just I'm bad, I made a sand that's do shit, you know, against Peter, whatever. There's you know, the stuff with his daughter and all that. Peter always trying to connect and get through to him and whatnot. In fact, they do a great example of that in the new Spider-Man 2 game. But anyway, we've seen Sandman go to all kinds of sizes and whatnot. And some of my most favourite fond Spider-Man battles, memories of the Sandman are where he's in a big form. Even from Spider-Man 3, for example, I didn't mind that final fight in Spider-Man 3. I relatively enjoyed it. Again, I've just referenced it, the Spider-Man 2 video game at the start of it when you go in and whatnot. So I'm classing him as a big boy because he can get to the big boy size. Even in the likes of Spider-Man No Way Home, even in the Lego set, you can get him in his big boy form, just smashing around and whatnot. I think he's a really awesome villain. I think he's a really awesome character. And again, there's a lot of great memories I've got of seeing Sandman being all big, Spider-Man chucking his webs in, they're not really doing much to him, having to chuck some water on him and whatnot. He's fucking awesome. Number 7, it is King Kong himself. Somebody that at the time of recording, I'll be seeing him in, what are we on today? Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. I'll be seeing him in 3 days and I can't fucking wait. I've got that like nervous happiness feeling. But yes, it's King Kong. In the world of the kaijus and stuff like that, I am hashtag Team Godzilla till the day I die. But I do really like Kong, and the new Monsterverse stuff versions that we're getting of Kong, I've fallen in love with a little bit more. Yeah, the Peter Jackson film was quite good. I liked him. The OG stuff from way back in the day, it was fine. It was fun. I always didn't really have as much love for him as Godzilla. I think because it was, to me, it's a gorilla. We know what that is, but it's really big. But the more we're seeing him now with more of a history and then going toe-to-toe with Zilla and getting unique weapons and into the new one, getting his gauntlet and stuff like that, I'm definitely falling in love a lot more with Kong. Like I said, I've always liked him. I just didn't have the wow awe factor because it was just a gorilla, but really big. And it was like, okay, it's yeah, awesome gorilla, pound your chest, do anything. But the emotional attachment you get with Kong along the way, especially with, again, in the Monsterverse films, where he's getting connections to humans and stuff like that. I can't wait to see him, how he goes up against Godzilla in Godzilla X Kong, the pyramid scene and whatnot. I can't wait to see how that plays out. Him telling Zilla, portal stop and whatnot. I was happy that Zilla won the fight between them two, but I was a little bit like, okay, you tried your hardest, you shouted back, you got a bit of, come on, you're still dominant bastard because you're shouting back and stuff. But King Kong's an OG. King Kong's a legend. He had to be on the list, and I've got a lot of love for the big boy. Number 6, it's the big fucker that will devour our worlds that a lot of people are that are saying that they're seeing in real life. I don't know if you've seen that. It's Galactus, by the way, sorry. I don't know if anybody's seen that video going around with a big face next to the moon. Everyone's like, you know, the conspiracy nuts are jumping on it because they give it a name. It's so-and-so that's come to devour everything. It's like, it's not real, it's fake. But to me, straight away, I'm like, that's Galactus. And there's a lot of other nerds out there that I've seen in the videos, but like, Galactus, it's Galactus, it's Galactus. I'm like, I love this little nerd circle we're all in. But yes, it's Galactus, an OG badass Marvel villain. Fun, but do you know what, right? This might sound silly and stupid. I do apologize if this is a horrible reason. I love him in the Lego Marvel game, the Lego Marvel Superheroes game, the first one. It's amazing battle, helicarrier and whatnot, you're doing all your stuff, and then there's Galactus coming in. I just think he's amazing. Plus, whenever Galactus is present in comics or even the Fantastic Four films, and it's like this impending doom that's coming from the deeps of space to slowly get here, and you can slowly sort of see him coming into to, you know, the atmosphere and eventually devouring and whatnot. He's just an amazing character. He's an amazing villain. He's a unique villain in the world of Marvel. Yes, there's a lot of big people and whatnot in the world of Marvel, but, you know, unlike the Celestials and stuff like that, I always think he stands out a bit more. The design, the legendary status, you know, going up against the Fantastic Four and whatnot, the interactions with Silver Surfer and that. I love me some Galactus. Number 5, it is Lord Shenron from the world of Dragon Ball. You get your Dragon Balls, you summon him, and he's there ready to rock and roll. I've always loved this fucker. He's so amazing. In terms of design of a dragon, on point. I love dragons in all kinds of different, you know, designs and forms. If we look at Pokemon, like a design of a Garchomp, awesome, or a Baxcalibur, amazing. But for me, the ultimate dragon sort of form is like the Lord Shenron, the Rayquaza sort of type form. By the way, there are no Pokemon on this list because Pokemon are big, but they never feel as big as what they actually are. Like if you actually look at the size of like a Charizard and that, they're not as big. But either way, sorry, that's a different point. But Lord Shenron, that crazy, amazing, beautiful voice. The first time I watched him be summoned through the Dragon Balls and stuff, thinking, oh my god, they like the endless, constant loops of all the different parts. Well, his body just sort of going forever, like loads of little what they called Mobius strips or whatever, the figures of eights and shit like that. It's just so amazing and badass and powerful. Plus all the different dragons that can get summoned from different Dragon Balls from different universes and whatnot. Everyone, obviously, sometimes you have your own different ones, whether you know, Namekian or whatever. There's different Dragon Balls, different, all that carry on. But him specifically, that first time hearing that voice with like the Krogalus, or I can't do it. I've got horrible impression, the sort of voice. But then the funny moments when he first meets Beerus, for example, and he's like, oh, is that Lord? And he's probably shitting himself. You're thinking, fuck me. You're like a super duper powerful entity in its own right, and you're terrified of this, and the way he interacted and all that kind of stuff. Absolutely beautiful. I got the big Funko Pop downstairs that sits in the kitchen with all the Dragon Balls underneath him and whatnot. So cool, so badass. And another one of my early memories of watching Dragon Ball, watching stuff and being like, whoa, this big fucking thing's absolutely amazing. It's sort of blowing my mind and being a little bit terrified, but liking him and just being like, oh, this is fucking badass. Lord motherfucking Shenron. Number 4 is maybe, arguably, debatably the world's most popular Transformer. It's, of course, Bumblebee. It's the motherfucking legend that is Bumblebee. Yeah, what is there not to love and say about Bumblebee? I know Chris is all over Bumblebee. He loves that little bastard. Everybody fucking does. He's adorable. He's funny. He's cute. He's badass. I know some people are hit and miss with the Rise of the Beasts Transformers film, but see, when he comes down with his, I'm gonna knock and just pew, pew, I'm like, I love you so much. The uppercut punch thing that he does in number 3, Transformers 3, put his visors down. The Bumblebee film alone, he's just amazing on every level. He's legendary at this point. He's so iconic. Whether you're talking about his old, I don't know, car brand, you know, but his old Beetle thing, or you're talking about the new Chevrolet. Again, I'm not a big car guy. Chris should be here to correct car stuff. He's just an absolute amazing character all round. He's a character that's had a lot of stock and a lot of history put into him as Transformers have gone on, and you know, with different forms, being Goldbug and all that kind of stuff. Just beautiful, just amazing Bumblebee. Take it to the top 3, and coming in on podium, but at number 3, it is the Balrog. More specifically, the Balrog of Morgoth. Wow, just wow. See, I've read The Lord of the Rings, but I watched the films before I read the books, and I'm actually now in the middle of doing the audiobooks with Andy Serkis on Spotify in my little earplugs, which is beautiful. But the Balrog, and interacting with the Balrog in the Shadow of Mordor, the Shadow game. Fucking amazing, eventually freezing it in ice and whatnot. But the Balrog, wow, just fucking beautiful. I remember being in the cinema for the first time and watching Fellowship, and you know, thingy, they've just got out, you know, Gimli's been on top of Balin's tomb, and he's all kicking off. They get through the halls, the goblins surround him, and then they just. And then the red slowly starts to come in, and Gandalf sort of has that dreaded sort of look on his face, and Boromir's like, what the fuck is this, Gandalf? What the fuck is this? And even before that, before they go in, Gandalf has a little flash, does he, with the book, and he sees the flames and the eyes and that, and you're like, what is this absolute impending doom coming our way? And then eventually the Fellowship, from one of my favourite sequences, I'm getting fucking goosebumps talking about it, one of my favourite sequences in the Lord of the Rings trilogy, when they're making their way out. We have the whole "you shall not pass" standoff and whatnot, the Bridge of Khazad-dûm. It's just, it's fucking beautiful. And he, as an entity, as a character, as this demonic beast of power and anger and flame, is just fucking outstanding. In fact, as well, I know the TV show, The Rings of Power. What the fuck was the Amazon show called again? Anyway, at the end of that, with it, you know, the dwarves dug too far, and we see it at the bottom of there, and you're like, oh fuck, oh fuck, oh fuck, here we go. And then getting into Two Towers and seeing the actual battle between Gandalf and the Balrog, it's... the Balrog is fucking outstanding. Toi is my boy himself, it's Godzilla. Fucking love me, that lizard little bad boy. Now, there's a lot to love about Godzilla, whether you want to, even if you appreciate the 90s version, it was okay. It wasn't great, but it was okay. Shin Godzilla, but more specifically, I absolutely love and adore, my personal favourite is definitely now going to be the MonsterVerse version of Godzilla. I'd say a close to another modern one, though, is -1 Godzilla. Godzilla in any way, shape or form that you give it to me, I will take it on a plate. This comes from my wow of, like, well, not historical, but, you know, these mythical creaturey sort of giant beasts that roam the earth. It comes from my love of the deep, dark reaches of the ocean and seeing, so, like, I remember the shot in King of the Monsters where the submarine's going past and he's there in front of the thing and you just sort of stare and you're like, oh my fucking god. All of that sort of carry on, my love for big things that are just fighting each other and kicking the fuck out of each other and all that kind of shit. My love for Godzilla is just so overwhelming. He is so amazing. Whether we have blue dorsal fins, we're now onto the pink dorsal fins, the regular one from the first MonsterVerse film with Bryan Cranston and stuff. Bryan Cranston? Yeah, whatever. Absolutely fucking flawless. The cry. In fact, I have the poster of Godzilla from the new MonsterVerse film, the first one. And, sorry, I should rank, but the scene where they're coming down, you got the red flares, and you just sort of get a glimpse of Godzilla in your head. Oh, I remember being in the cinema watching that, just being like, I fucking love that noise so much. Oh my god, I love this, I love this, I love it. I'm being so overwhelmed, just in absolute awe and absolute love. And like I said, I've always had a fascination with Godzilla. Whether you want to make him a sort of an anti-hero, sort of good guy, just controlling the balance of nature and shit, or you want to make him full-on bad guy, go -1, ripping shit up and attacking everything. The lore, if you want to go as disgusting and gross and minging, do Shin Godzilla with his flat bits and blood spraying out and creatures on the back end of his tail and shit. Whichever way you want to go, Godzilla. Number one had to be my boy, Optimus Prime. Me and a couple of friends all have the Autobot logo tattooed, and we all got different colours for different Autobots, and I was like, boys, I need to get blue for Optimus. That is my guy. Hence the reason why our dumb, saggy, staffy, Shar-Pei dog is named Optimus, because I just love him so much. There's, it's been said many a times, I'm not the first person to say this, but you literally will and do feel like dying for the bloke. If that, I am no good to anybody in a fight. I can bring a plastic Stormbreaker, a lightsaber that's not real, but it's fucking awesome. And a couple of fags, some chocolate bars. I can't bring much. I'll be there, but I ain't gonna do much. But if he rocked up to my door and says, Dan, I need you to fight, I will rock up with all my pointless shit and I will fight for that fucker. Optimus Prime is a fucking legend. He's so iconic, so legendary, so classic. Even the, you know, the red and blue truck sort of things. The reason why I fall in love with vehicles, by the way, because I'm not even a vehicle guy, but if it's closely linked to something that I love, then I will be like, amazing. So this says to me, what's your dream car? Can I have the truck that Optimus Prime is? Oh, right, okay, why would you want that? Because it's fucking Optimus Prime. That's all I would see. If I had that outside my house, I'd be like, it's Optimus Prime's on the front, Optimus Prime's on the front, Optimus Prime. Oh, it's just amazing. His fights with Megatron, his fights with Sentinel, his fights with Unicron, his fights with whoever, whoever the fuck you want him to put up against, they're just amazing. The Scourge, his new fight with Scourge at the end of Rise of the Beast, where in the lava, he fought. I fucking love him so fucking much. He's badass. He's amazing. An iconic, beautiful. I'm very curious to see what Chris Hemsworth's going to sound like as Optimus. I'm looking forward to it, but I'm a bit like, okay, we'll see what happens here. But Optimus Prime. Do you even need to sell Optimus Prime to anybody? It's fucking Prime. There we go, visuals. My favourite big fuckers in films and TV and comics and whatnot. Let me know yours in the comments below. Let you know what you think of my list. And please, you have to let us know. Are we allowing Sandman in the list? I put him in because I thought it should be alright. He has been big multiple times. I know he's not naturally big, but he can and is quite often big. So you'll have to let me know if I snuck that one in, if it's allowed, if I've cheated. Please let me know. More importantly, I want to know what your favourites are in the comments below. Are you maybe a King Ghidorah kind of guy? Maybe you love Megatron. Maybe we should have added some Pokemon like a Rayquaza or a Groudon. Let me know in the comments below. I can't wait to see what people say. But visuals anyway, my 10 favourite big fuckers in that shit. But more importantly, thank you so much for watching. You guys are literally the fucking best. Remember, always keep being you and keep on web slinging on.